Pinky padded through the industrial edge of town, where warehouses loomed like sleeping giants and the sidewalks turned to gravel. He stuck close to chain-link fences, careful to avoid barking dogs behind gates and noisy delivery trucks. By mid-afternoon, he reached a narrow strip of green, a park squeezed between an old school and a row of houses. It wasn't much, but to Pinky, it felt like a tiny island of peace. He walked along the edge of the grass, sniffing the clover patches and watching the squirrels. He hadn't realized how thirsty he was until he saw a drinking fountain dripping into a puddle beneath it. He lapped up the cool water gratefully. "Hey! You lost?" Pinky jerked his head up, startled. Standing across the grass was a young female blue heeler, lean and agile, with striking slate-gray fur and bright amber eyes. She stood confidently, like she owned the place. Yeah. A little," Pinky admitted. The blue heeler trotted over, her tail flicking like a flag. "You're not from around here," she said. "I'd remember. I know every dog in this neighborhood." "I'm just passing through," said Pinky. "Trying to get home. I got left behind in town." She said, circling him once. "I'm Jazzy." "Pinky." "Pinky," she grinned. "Cute." Pinky huffed and looked away. Jazzy laughed, not unkindly. "Well, Pinky," she said, "you're in luck. I was just heading back to my yard. You should come with me. There's food. Shade. No one will bother you. You can stay as long as you want." It was tempting. After everything that had happened, the thought of resting for a while in a safe, fenced yard sounded really nice. But then Pinky thought of his farm. Of the wide, open fields. Of his owner's whistle at dawn. Of the goats and chickens and muddy puddles and the smell of hay in the breeze. "I can't," he said. "I have to keep going." Jazzy raised an eyebrow. "Really? You sure? You don't even know how far you have to go. Or what's out there." "I know what's waiting for me when I get there," Pinky said softly. "And that's enough." Jazzy looked at him for a long moment. "All right then. But if you're heading north, I'll walk with you to the edge of the park. There's someone you'll want to avoid." They walked together, side by side through the tall grass. Jazzy showed Pinky a shortcut around a fenced-in playground, and a gap in the bushes behind the old baseball diamond. "See that yard?" she said, pointing her nose toward a low wooden fence across the street. "That's where Brutus lives. Big German shepherd. Mean. He hates strays." Before Pinky could respond, a deep bark exploded from the yard. The next few seconds happened in a blur. The gate rattled open, bad latch, Jazzy had warned, and out charged Brutus, all muscle, teeth, and rage. "Run!" Jazzy barked, already sprinting. Pinky bolted. They flew across the street, claws scrabbling on the pavement, Pinky's heart hammering as Brutus closed in behind them. Jazzy veered left and disappeared through a hedge. Pinky didn't. He ran straight. Faster than he'd ever run in his life. Through alleys, down embankments, across a ditch. He leapt over a log and ducked under a chain-link fence that had been peeled up at the corner. Brutus was fast, but Pinky was faster. Eventually, the furious barks behind him faded. Pinky stopped near a quiet set of railroad tracks, panting, ears twitching. Alone again. But not afraid. Because with every obstacle, every decision, Pinky felt something growing stronger inside him, something the Chihuahua had seen in his eyes. Determination. The trees came slowly at first, just a few scattered pines rising up behind the railroad tracks, but as Pinky walked, the world began to change. The grass grew wilder. The air cooled. The ground turned soft and earthy under his paws. Soon he was in it. The woods. It wasn't a forest exactly, but it was thick enough to drown out the town behind him. There were no fences here, no sidewalks or parked cars. Just leaves whispering in the breeze and the far-off call of birds hidden high in the canopy. Pinky slowed his steps. His farm was nothing like this. Open sky, flat fields, he could see from fence post to fence post back home. But here, shadows moved. Branches creaked. The underbrush rustled with things unseen. He didn't like it. Still, he pressed on. Hours passed. He walked until his legs ached, stopping only to drink from a muddy puddle and sniff the air for danger. The ground was tangled with roots and fallen branches, and the sun barely pierced through the thick green above. Then came a voice. Not like the Chihuahuas. Not like Jazzy's. This voice came from above. Well, well. What do we have here? Pinky spun around, ears high. Who said that? He barked. A cackling laugh answered. Pinky looked up. There, perched on a crooked branch overhead, was a crow, its feathers slick and oily black, its beady eyes gleaming with mischief. You're a long way from a fire hydrant, farm dog, the crow croaked. I'm going home, Pinky said, tail stiff behind him. I was left behind. Oh, the crow said dramatically. Poor little pup. So brave. So determined. So completely lost. I'm not lost, Pinky growled. The crow tilted its head. Aren't you now? Then why are you walking in the wrong direction? Pinky froze. What do you mean? The crow spread its wings and fluttered to a lower branch. Your farm? It's that way. He pointed a wing to the left. Trust me, red truck. Smells like chickens and sadness. Pinky hesitated. His nose said to go straight. His instincts told him not to trust the crow. But what if he was wrong? You don't want to waste your time, do you? The crow said. Think of all the coyotes out here. One wrong turn and you'll be someone's midnight snack. The crow flapped up to a higher branch. Come along now. I'll guide you. I'm a local. Pinky took a step to the left. Then another. But something felt off. The crow was smiling, at least, as much as a bird could smile. His feathers puffed in a twitchy, gleeful way, like he was enjoying a secret joke. And then Pinky heard it. A laugh. Not the fake kind. A real one. The kind that slipped out when someone thought they'd gotten away with something clever. Pinky stopped. "You're lying," he said. The crow paused, mid-hop. "What?" "You're trying to trick me," Pinky said firmly, lifting his head. "I can feel it. You want me to go the wrong way." The crow's grin dropped. "Thanks for the warning," Pinky said coolly, turning around and heading the opposite direction of the one the crow had pointed to. The crow squawked in frustration. "You'll regret this, farm dog. You'll be crow food by dawn." But Pinky didn't look back. The woods thinned as he walked. Slowly, the trees grew smaller, the sky stretched wider, and the smell of grass and sunlight returned to the breeze. And just beyond a small hill, he saw it. A vast green field, flat as a pond, stretching all the way to the horizon. The field opened up before Pinky like a quiet dream. Tall grass swayed in the breeze, soft and golden. The sun sat low in the sky, casting a warm orange hue across the land. And scattered across the field like slow-moving clouds were cows, dozens of them. Big, calm, and silent. Pinky had seen cows before, through the truck window, from the far side of a fence, but never up close. His own farm didn't have any. They weren't part of his world. But now he needed rest. A safe place to think. A place where no cars, crows, or Brutus types could sneak up on him. A few turned their heads, others just blinked with mild curiosity. One particularly large brown cow with a white stripe down her nose stepped forward. "Evening," she said in a slow, gravelly voice. "You lost, pup?" Pinky dipped his head politely. "Yes, ma'am. Trying to get home." "You don't smell like cow dog," she said, sniffing the air. "But you smell like work. You're a worker." "I live on a farm," Pinky said. "I check the fences, guard the animals, keep order." The cow nodded. "A working dog, then." "We respect that here." The other cows began to drift in closer, surrounding Pinky in a wide, loose circle. Not menacing. Just curious. "Where's home?" asked another cow. "North of here," Pinky said. "Out past the river." A low murmur passed through the herd. "The river's no small thing," said the brown and white cow. "Strong current. Deep." "I'll find a way," Pinky said, though he felt a knot twist in his chest at the thought. The cows were silent for a long moment. Then the oldest cow, a huge gray fellow with sagging eyes and a voice like creaking barn wood, finally spoke. "Sometimes," he said, "life kicks you in the ribs. Knocks the air out of you. Leaves you face down in the mud. You'll want to lie there, stay there. Give up." Pinky listened, ears forward. "But if you get up, slow and steady, you'll find your way back. Not because luck helps you, but because you keep moving. One hoof. One paw. One step at a time." Pinky looked around at the cows, at the calm wisdom in their stillness. "I don't know if I can do it," he admitted. "It's a long way." "You don't have to know," said the cow. You just have to keep going. The wind rustled the grass like a lullaby. Pinkie sighed and sat down in the center of the pasture. The cows slowly returned to their grazing, leaving him in peace. The field was warm, the grass soft beneath him, and for the first time in days, he felt truly safe. He curled up, eyes drifting closed under the fading sunset. And there, under the slow chew of cows and the distant chirping of crickets, Pinkie slept.